Okay, students, today we'll be going to study another topic from the module 5, cookies, serialization and session state. So, as all of you know about the cookies, whenever that you'll be going to make the browsing, so that time the cookie is going to be, that particular site cookie is going to be stored in your system. Whenever the next time that you'll be going to visit the same thing, so immediately without visiting to the server, it goes to the first browsers in the your database, and from there it is going to fetch and it is going to display the first page. Okay. So this is a very small amount of memory that it is going to take, maximum of around 45K. That's it, not more than that. Yeah, let us see in detail how these cookies are going to work. These are a client-side approach for the presenting persisting state information. Means the data is going to be stored in that particular. So they are the name value pair. It is going to be so that saved within the one or more text files managed by the browser. So in the browser memory only that it is getting stored, and the information is stored and retrieved by the browser. So when that is going to travels within the HTTP header. So whenever that data is going to get travels with that particular browser, that information, that is the state information, is getting traveled in the HTTP header. So there are three way of tracking that authentication for the cookies are there. One is remember me. So it is nothing but a persistent cookie. It is going to be store user preferences, track the user browsing behavior. Now, sometimes what happens basically is whenever you will be going to browse, okay, that time it is going to ask you that there is a remember me. So remember, if you are going to click that, immediately what happens, that the data has been stored. That is a cookie. It is going to be persistent cookie. It is going to get stored over there itself. Store the user preferences. So you will be going to have some browser history is going to be there, right? So that if you are going to click, so there also another way of that is getting stored. Track the user browsing behavior. See what happens basically is when that you will be going to show that particular cookie, next time similar type of data that it is going to get fetched. So that is a tracking cookie is going to be there. So it is going to track which are the things that you are going to browse it. Based on that, it is going to give you some information on the browser. Okay. So there are three different types of authentications are going to be there here. Site that use the cookies should not depend on their availability for the critical features. Sometimes what happens, always if you're going to have the cookies are going to be more, then unnecessary things are going to be displayed on the screen. Okay, so you have to some cookies are really good, but thing is that situations with the critical features of that, it is going to be bad. Okay, sometimes it is going to be is not going to be good for the good to have that particular cookie, because with that cookie we can say that hacking is also can be done. The user can delete the cookies or tamper within them, so that it is possible. Explicitly that you can delete the cookies, as well as tamper that particular, means you can change that data from that, so that only that hacking is going to take place. So with while cookie information is going to be stored and retrieved by the browser, the information in the cookie travels within the HTTP header. The same thing that it is going to be. Cookies have the limitations. Is what not 45 KB. There is a 4 KB, maximum of 4 KB data that it is going to be stored. And to remember the cookies domain, so instance of the maximum of around Internet Explorer 4, limited to 30 cookies, not more than that. Not more than that. That is. So how that basically cookies are going to work. So here you can see that there is a browser is there, a server is there here. You can see that here with the diagram. Okay. The first is the user makes the first request to the page, to the domain. Some particular site it is going to be getting executed here. So by using the get method that it is going to be, so it is going to have the that particular PHP page and versions and all these things. This is the header part of that, and it goes to the web server. So web server that fetches that particular data, and it sends that one to the format of header. Okay, header part, HTTP header part, that it responses are going to be given, and that is going to be displayed on the browser. So then after, the user can make another request. Once I'm going to request, the data is going to be there, and it is going to give a number of that particular site information. From that site information, again I'm going to click one more time. Okay, so user can make another request, the page with the same site. Okay, then after what happens, immediately it is going to fetch from the browser reads cookie files from the text file for each submission of the request. So here only that it is going to read, and here only it is going to give the information. Okay. So with that, what happens basically is data is going to be travels here itself. Then after it goes to the sixth point where that next time cookie is going to be executed. Then it goes to the cookie values are going to be travels with the early submission of the HTTP request. So whatever the previous one was there, with that it is going to get travels in this. Then is of the name value pair that it is going to be first name value, then second name value. Because already first name value is already present, the second name value is also from that only it is going to be fetched, and it is goes to the server again. Web server that it is going to take place, and again it is going to fetch a server there. In this, it is going to repeat that particular task. Using the cookies in this, there are two things are there: session cookies and persistent cookies. Session cookies are going to be expires whenever that browsing will be going to close that. Okay? Browser you're going to close, the data is going to be deleted. Persistent cookies, they'll be going to stay until and unless explicitly that is going to be get deleted, or it is going to have some expiry date. So till that point that is going to be present, then after it is getting deleted. Is in the PHP is created by using the set cookie function that they'll want to use, and to retrieve that cookie, $cookies is a super global variable. With that, they'll be going to fetch that data. It is important to note that the cookies must be written before any other page is going to be on. So before that next page, the cookie has to be present. Next is serialization. This is one of the important concept over here. Serialization is the process of taking the complicated object and reducing it down to the zeros and ones. Now you can see that it is we can say that it is going to be can say we can say that safe data it is going to be, okay? Because the complicated object is going to get reduces to zeros and ones, means it is in the form of a binary data that it is going to be stored in the either storage or transmission. When it is, if you wanted to store that one in the system, it is also going to get stored in the form of zeros and ones, and you want to transfer that data, communicate between the system and another system. So that time also this is going to be helpful for the zeros and ones. So the data cannot be seen to the others. That format that it is going to be travels. So how you will be going to do this particular task? So by using this serialize function, you can able to do this function. It is now you can see by serialization function. Here is the example it is being given. So this is a class models are going to there here. So all these things are getting converted in the form of ones and zeros over here. By using unserialized function, so we will be going to get back that particular function. Can you able to see, right? Next is session state it is going to be. So whenever that session is going to start, so that it is going to get records over there. So